The latest claims about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle being at odds over their children read like yet another recycled attempt to manufacture drama where none has been proven to exist. Whenever the Sussexes go quiet, tabloids inevitably fill the silence with anonymous sources, overheated language, and speculative psychology dressed up as insider knowledge. This time, the story centres on Archie and Lilibet, and it is being framed as a fundamental clash between Harry and Meghan, described dramatically as oil and water. But when you slow this narrative down and actually examine what is being alleged, a very different and far more reasonable picture emerges. First, let us address the source itself. Heatworld is not exactly known for careful reporting or verified insight into the private lives of the Sussex family. Its business model relies on sensationalism, unnamed insiders, and emotionally charged language designed to provoke reaction rather than convey truth. Whenever you see phrases like tense conversations behind closed doors or power struggle, alarm bells should ring. These are classic tabloid tropes, not evidence. The claim here is that Harry and Meghan fundamentally disagree on how visible their children should be, because Archie and Lilibet are sixth and seventh in line to the throne. Right away, that framing is misleading. While it is technically true that the children are in the line of succession, their lived reality is very different from that of working royal children in the UK. They are being raised privately in California, outside the institution, without royal roles, without public funding, and without expectations of future service. Reducing them to their place in the line of succession is a convenient way to drag them back into a system their parents deliberately stepped away from. What is being portrayed as conflict is, in reality, a normal parenting discussion. One parent shaped by intense childhood media intrusion, the other shaped by a career in public-facing work and modern media literacy. Harry's instinct to protect comes from lived trauma. He has spoken openly about growing up under relentless scrutiny, about being photographed constantly, about his grief being played out in public after the loss of his mother. His caution is not controlling or extreme. It is protective, thoughtful, and deeply rooted in experience. Meghan's perspective, as described, is also not reckless or exploitative. The idea that she believes hiding the children completely leads to speculation, and pressure is not wrong. We have seen that play out repeatedly. The less the public sees, the more tabloids invent. Meghan is not saying the children should be turned into public property. She is reportedly saying she wants the freedom to include them naturally, without fear or hysteria, and without every appearance being framed as a strategy. That distinction matters. Including children naturally does not mean parading them. It means not having to live in constant fear that a single photograph will spark weeks of dehumanizing commentary. It means reclaiming some agency over how their family is represented, rather than leaving that space entirely to hostile media. The comparison to Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis is also being twisted. Those children appear at carefully choreographed moments, under controlled palace conditions, with full state funded security. They are part of an institution that depends on visibility for continuity. Archie and Lilibet are not. Pointing out that royal children in the UK are visible is not an argument that the Sussex children should be treated the same. It is an observation about double standards and public expectations. The suggestion that Meghan is pushing for the children to be front and centre because she is a business owner is one of the most loaded and unfair aspects of this story. It plays directly into a long-standing smear that Meghan views her family as a brand rather than as people. There is no evidence to support this claim, and it ignores years of behaviour that suggest the opposite. Archie and Lilibet have been largely shielded from public view. There are no reality shows featuring them, no constant social media exposure, no interviews where their lives are dissected. That restraint speaks louder than any anonymous quote. Harry, being firmly opposed and refusing to budge, is framed as stubbornness, when in reality it reflects consistency. He has always been clear about protecting his children from the harm he experienced. Meghan supporting that overall goal while occasionally expressing a different instinct is not conflict. It is conversation. Healthy couples talk through differences. They do not leak them to magazines. The language about instincts is revealing. Harry's instinct to shield versus Meghan's instinct to build. This framing subtly casts Meghan as ambitious and Harry as fearful, reinforcing gendered stereotypes that have followed them since the beginning. Meghan builds communities, projects and platforms. Yes, that does not mean she builds at the expense of her children's well-being. Harry shields, yes. That does not mean he lives in paranoia. These instincts are complementary, not oppositional. What is being presented as a sticky issue is more accurately described as thoughtful navigation. Parenting in the public eye, especially with royal connections, is unprecedented in the modern era. There is no manual for raising children who are globally famous by accident of birth, yet removed from the institution that created that fame. The fact that Harry and Meghan are reportedly taking it one step at a time suggests care, not chaos. The idea that this could turn into a power struggle is pure tabloid projection. There is no evidence of a struggle for control. There is no evidence of resentment or dysfunction. There is only speculation built on outdated narratives that insist on casting Meghan as a driver of exposure and Harry as a reluctant participant. Time and again, their actions contradict this storyline. If anything, their approach has been remarkably aligned. Both parents prioritise safety, mental health, and normalcy. Both have limited their children's exposure far more than any other high-profile family of similar status. Both have been clear that their children did not choose this life and deserve privacy. Differences in emphasis do not equal division. It is also worth noting how often stories about the Sussex children emerge without any prompting from the couple themselves. They do not comment. They do not correct, they do not engage. This silence is then filled by outlets eager to create friction. The absence of public rebuttal is not confirmation. It is restraint. There is a broader context here as well. Meghan has long been criticised regardless of what she does. If she shares nothing, she is accused of secrecy. If she shares a glimpse, she is accused of exploitation. This no-win situation is not accidental. It is the product of a media culture that has decided on a narrative and bends every development to fit it. Harry and Meghan are not oil and water. They are two parents shaped by different experiences, united by a shared goal of doing better for their children than what was done for them. That requires discussion, adjustment, and mutual respect. Nothing in this story suggests otherwise. Ultimately, Archie and Lilibet are being raised in a home where their parents are conscious of the dangers of overexposure and the harms of total erasure. Finding the balance between visibility and privacy is not a scandal. It is responsible parenting in an unforgiving media environment. The real takeaway from this story is not supposed tension. It is the continued obsession with policing how Meghan and Harry raise their children. That obsession says far more about the tabloids than it does about the Sussexes. And as always, the couple continue living their lives quietly, thoughtfully, and on their own terms, regardless of who claims to know what happens behind closed doors.